So when I'm presenting at Mount Isa, I say to the people, you don't even have to run here. All you have to do is walk up those hills. So it's whatever it takes to get your heart rate up and your breathing increased. When I started to do this, because reading the book, it's such an inspiration to read it. He says, when you start implementing this, we're not going to be able to hold you down because of what it's going to do for your body. So I couldn't wait to try it. Now, when I got to 22nd, I'm running up a hill. My body's actually saying to me, I think that'll do. I get to 25 seconds, my body says, this is getting ridiculous. I get to 30 seconds and if I don't count, I don't get that far because I'll listen to the body that says, yeah, that'll do. In the Framingham Heart Study, I've quoted this study a couple of times, 30,000 people, little town over many years. They found that by the age of 50, 40% or most people had lost 40% of their lung capacity. Why is that? Because people never do what you experience when you get to the end of your 30 seconds. Those lungs are just stretched wide open. Those little bronchioles right at the end are being forced to start working. High chest breathers can find that the bottom half of their lungs can almost go into dormancy. So no wonder by the age of 50, many have lost 40% of their lung capacity. The study showed that by the age of 80, most had lost 60% of their lung capacity. Remember oxygen, the most vital element needed for life? Well, and that's where we get it, through our lungs. Recovery. Your recovery time is your indicator of your fitness. Dr. Al Sears, in his book PACE, he's considered the exercise doctor. His book is a bestseller. What does PACE mean? P is progressive. This is progressive. The more you do it, the stronger you will get. I don't know whether this has ever got easy. It's certainly easier than when I first started. But it's the recovery time shortens. So your recovery time is your fitness indicator. So PACE is, P is progressive. A is acceleration. You are accelerating. This is no gentle stroll. You're accelerating. So when Michael and I are running up the hill, we don't talk then. He's way ahead of me because his legs are about 4 inches longer than mine. I say to him, you must love running with me. It makes you feel like an Olympic runner. So you are accelerating. And C is cardiopulmonary. So cardio meaning the heart muscle. There's one way to strengthen the heart. There's no other way, and that is exercise. So exercise strengthens the heart. I'm going to give you a story to illustrate. My son Peter, about 10 years ago when he was 25, he was training for a triathlon. So he was running up and down the hills behind Brisbane. That's where he lived at the time. Now he's a tiler, and he was dismantling an old vanity unit that had a big chip off it, huge chip, and it was from about the 50s, you know, those old ceramic ones. He got it out and he didn't realise how slippery it was, and it fell and it hit his ankle. In fact, I think if he hadn't have had a bone there, it might have taken the whole foot off. And the blood hit the roof. And he called out to my son, James, my elder son. James! James said, I'm on the phone, mate. Pete said, I think you'd better come quickly. And I tell you that because it was a few minutes before James got in the room. And when he got in the room, he said this little bathroom, the whole roof and walls were sprayed with this most lovely decoration of blood, little sprinkles. When they went to hospital, bound it up, got to hospital, the nurse kept taking Peter's pulse. It was 50 beats per minute. And she couldn't believe that it was 50 beats per minute. Why was it 50 beats per minute? Because Peter's been running up and down hills. So the stronger the heart gets, the less it has to pump. Because every pump is so powerful. It was so powerful, the blood hit the roof.